Ladies and gents, welcome to the 2 Cents. This is Brand. Another special edition After Hours, number 3 on your dial. Got my man B-Tel in the building, man, once again. What's up, baby?
Peace. You know, I'm back at it. I'm ready.
All day, man, all day.
I'm always ready, man.
And you know, for everybody, for the listeners, you know how we construct the podcast. You know, we have our usual episodes, and you know these are our after hours episodes where we kind of just hang loose a little bit, and we kind of just just kind of like just let everything glide. And Bart was our first guest on our first episode, and so he kind of is a mainstay in what we like to do with this podcast. And
right.
Just to like kind of rewind for everybody, the last episode we did, we chronicled the year 2001 in hip hop, and we do what we usually do on the hip hop tip. So I just want to like start from our last episode, and I want to ask Bart, like, in 2001, what were you doing? What was your mind state? What were you listening to? All that.
Man, 2001 was a real pivotal year for the nation, for myself, for music. I started off with music. Music that I was probably listening to, maybe I listened to The Blueprint. Probably Ghostface Killer came out with a Bulletproof Wallet that year.
Yeah,
that was a good track. Even Ludacris came out with Word of Mouth.
Oh, classic.
And I think he's very, very underrated. Eve came out with an album that year, representing Philadelphia itself. Even BBC came out with The Reason that year, 2001.
Classic.
That was a classic album.
Yeah, classic.
But other than music, I remember I was sitting in high school, and that's when the Twin Towers had dropped one year. And I thought that was unbelievable when it happened. That was definitely a pivotal and a gruesome time for this nation itself that we live in. There was a lot of things going on that year, man. If I can remember back that far, a lot was going on, man, that year, man. But hip hop wise, it was definitely a good year.
Yeah, man. I feel like it's appropriate to start with 2001 because in chronological order, that's the last episode. But I feel like a lot of the issues in 2001 are still the issues like today, and it's like I remember when the Twin Towers like went down in 2011.
Right.
In our area, and at that time we were in Philadelphia, the suburbs of Philadelphia, and it was pretty much shut down. It's pretty much shut down, and nobody knew what was going on, and kind of like schools were shut down. We didn't have school, blah blah blah.
It was pretty close to home.
Right. Yeah. So 9/11 was kind of crazy, but the thing about 9/11, we kind of had a common enemy, and the common enemy was unfortunately Middle Eastern Islamic people. And I don't know about you, Bart, but I feel like we were united in a weird way. It was even like Martin and Cat Williams, like they had like Cedric the Entertainer, they had like comedy skits where it's like, like even getting on the plane, it was like they ain't checking the black folks no more. Like, you know what I mean? It's all about the Indian. You know what I mean? So I feel like we kind of came together on maybe on a wrong premise. But like,
yeah, but it was that common ground because it was reverse roles now.
Right.
Now the spotlight was on another group of human beings from another sector of the world that was just like a brown at that.
Right.
But I never looked at those guys, or Middle Eastern men, women, children, as anything but my equal. I never looked at them as anything, because who knows really what happened in 9/11? And I'm not talking politically or just because I was in the military, but who really knew, you know?
Right.
And I sit here and argue with somebody and debate with somebody all day, every day about who did it and who didn't do it, but it still doesn't. This world is messed up. Period. So black people do bad things and good things. White people do bad things and good things, and Middle Eastern people do. It goes down the line. People in general does bad things and good things every day. But who am I to judge? You know.
Right.
And if I get on a plane nowadays, which I fly frequently, and I see a Middle Eastern man or woman, I'm not looking at them as they're going to be trouble. They're still human beings.
Right.
They just got caught in the light because maybe whatever the U.S. was doing at that time and moment, it was beefing with the Middle East. It kind of put a spotlight on every Middle Eastern man and woman, and I don't think that's right. And just like the Mexicans too, like they get a bad rap, especially nowadays when Donald Trump is putting them in the spotlight about building walls and stuff like that. A lot of people, the hatred is coming out. So now it's moving from Middle Eastern men and women to Mexican men and women and children and men. It's like a revolving cycle, man. Everything is recycled, man. And the world is just, well, the United States, crazy like that. I met plenty of Middle Eastern men right after that time when I went to the military that was cool as a fan, man. Sat and talked to them for hours when I was on duty and stuff like that. And they just wanted out. They didn't know that they thought I was from Africa. They thought every black woman, like on a serious tip, they think every black woman and children are from Africa. They don't see, even though we might have uniforms on that say U.S. Army, they don't see it as in we're from America.
Right.
They don't learn the educational system like we do. They're straight from, like, their times are different, man. They don't have textbooks and stuff like we do. Like, they see a black person, we're straight from Africa. They didn't believe we were from the United States. So their mind frame, they don't know. A lot of people that are poor, like really poor, they don't have the access to get all the way to the United States. They would love to come to the United States. It's just like in Africa. There's a lot of rich families that can travel over, but there's a lot of poor families that really can't travel that often. I'm sure there's a lot of countries and a lot of people that want to do harm in the United States because we are a cocky country. I'm glad I do live in the United States. To be honest with you, we're really spoiled as people.
Mm-hmm.
We're really spoiled people, especially when you go overseas and travel those waters.
You see the difference.
You'll find out that quick. But no, back to what we were saying. I never looked at Middle Eastern women and children or men differently after 9/11. You know, just one apple don't spoil the whole bunch. That's how I think. That's my mentality.
Straight up, yeah. And so we'll bounce from that, and I feel like that year 2001 was a real pivotal year in our history, and we were kids. We were teenagers when that was kind of like developing and all that stuff was happening, and
right.
We're young adults. We're adults now, like firmly in our stature and our lives that we live. So I just want to say, like, you know, where you feel we are, you know, if you could look at 2001 and look at 2016, where you think we at right now? You know what I mean? Like, what's the growth? Like, have we grown? Have we gone back? Have we gone in reverse? Have we gone forward? Are we right in the middle?
Oh, we're going back, but in a good way, though. That's why a lot of people look at me crazy, but I really do hope Donald Trump wins this election. And I know it's a shocker, like, why would you want Donald Trump to win this election?
Mm-hmm.
Because Donald Trump is bringing out the hatred, and that's what I like to see. I like to see the hoods come off.
Right.
I want to see the real American society come to the forefront.
Right.
If this society is the home or the land of the brave and the free, and this United States is just the greatest country in America, we need to prove it.
Right.
So there should be no hatred here. But him stepping to the forefront and actually telling what's really on his mind, he's not really filtering himself, is bringing other people to the forefront that doesn't filter themselves. And you just see how disgruntled America is. Like, now it's not people talking at their living room tables and hiding shit no more. They're actually out there in the forefront. You know, I think this time in 2016, the world, man, when people say they're in a living hell, I think this earth is a living hell.
Mm-hmm.
It's heaven or hell, whichever one you make it.
Right, whatever you choose.
In the United States, the truth is coming out. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I can dig it, bro. I mean, I feel like so to answer that question, I feel like 2001 to now, I feel like you know, I feel like 2001 was definitely a whole bunch of injustices, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of capitalist societies were basically making money off of minorities, and so you know what I mean. So as a result, minorities were making money. You know what I mean? But does that really mean stuff was truly fair? No. I feel like, yeah, you know what I mean. I feel like, honestly, man, I feel like when Obama got elected in 2008. I feel like it was a shift after that. I feel like it was like, okay, it's like we have a black president, so I just feel like that just brought other attention. Like it just did. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I feel like we're in regression. I feel like we're in regression. We're going back, and
right.
And hey, man, like you said.
In your mind, is like a good regression, or is it a bad regression?
To me, it's like it's neither. It's like it's needed. You know what I mean? Because like you said, whatever it is whatever it is. And
it never went away. Like all the fucking, excuse my language, all the
hey, we after hours, baby. We ain't got no rules. No rules.
All the stuff that was here before is just still here. It's been covered up for so long. Like, you know how you sweep dirt under a rug? It's the same mentality, it's the same concept with the United States in a society we live in. Sweep the dirt under the rug, but now the rug's starting to get heavy under it, and it's too much dirt under it, so it's starting to like pile up. So now it's just flipping backwards, and all the dirt is starting to crumple out, it's starting to fall out.
Right. No.
And that's how we might build a new society here in the United States.
Exactly.
All the dirt needs to come out.
Exactly, bro. And to me, that's where it's like. That's why I don't feel like it's not. I feel like, you know what, like at a certain point, like if you drive a car and you can't afford to fix your car, and the car's just bad.